The old woman is on her knees, begging her niece for the money to save her dying grandchild. The next thing you know, she gets slapped right across the face. The niece coldly tells her the kid isn't her daughter, asking why she should be the one to save her. The old woman cries out that her son sent them over $10 million over the years to help out, but they just heartlessly watch his daughter die. What she doesn't know is that they think her son is some kind of con artist who's never coming back. They also think the sick kid is a jinx and deserves to die. While his daughter was dying in a hospital bed, the man who sent all that money was on his way back to the city as a billionaire. After 7 years away, Li Shu, the richest man in Africa, is finally home. The city officials are all there to greet him, hoping to lock down an investment. But he only has one thing on his mind: going home to repay the family that took care of his mom and daughter. He remembers that day 7 years ago when he was on his knees, just like his mom is now, begging his uncle to look after his family while he was gone. He promised he'd come back and repay their kindness, but that kindness was a lie. His uncle and cousin were living it up in total luxury, all paid for with the money he sent. They blew through his life savings while his own daughter was dying from a sickness they wouldn't even treat. To them, the little girl was just a money pit, and the cash her dad sent was theirs for the taking. While they're celebrating all their money, the uncle's phone rings. It's Li Shu. The uncle lies right away, telling him everyone's healthy and happy. Then he has the nerve to ask for another $1,000,000 for the sick kid's dance lessons. But just then, Li Shu hears a faint cry in the background. It's his mother. The uncle quickly covers it up, saying she's just addicted to mahjong and pissed about losing. His daughter viciously grabs the old woman, covers her mouth, and whispers that if she makes another sound, she'll kill her. But it was too late. Li Shu heard the muffled scream. He plays along and agrees to send $1,000,000 right away. The uncle and niece celebrate their win, totally clueless that the man on the other end of the line now knows the horrible truth. But then he spots an online fundraiser for a sick little girl. He realizes with growing horror that it's his own daughter. He immediately sends the money for her life-saving surgery. Just as the old woman gets the surgery consent form, her niece walks in, rips the papers to shreds, and steals the money she had scraped together. She announces that her dad is the child's legal guardian, and he'll never sign the form. They call the little girl a jinx and tell the old woman that if she wants to blame someone, she should blame her own son for making them her guardians. Just then, the uncle comes in with a wicked plan. He shows the old woman a property transfer agreement. He tells her that if she signs her house over to them, he'll sign the surgery consent form. The old woman refuses, saying it's the only home she has left. The uncle heartlessly tells her that if she doesn't sign, her grandchild can just wait to die. Meanwhile, back in his car, Li Shu's assistant confirms that the sick girl really is his daughter. He yells at his driver to floor it to the hospital, his mind racing with rage and disbelief. His own family hadn't just stolen his money, but were now trying to steal his mom's home, all while letting his daughter die. In a last-ditch effort, the old woman signs her house away to save her granddaughter. But the second the ink is dry, her brother-in-law bursts out laughing and rips the consent form to pieces. He admits he never planned on saving the jinx, and that the old woman was a fool for believing him. As they're making fun of her, the little girl in the bed starts to wake up. Her grandmother rushes to her side, but the uncle grabs her and tries to drag her away. Suddenly, the hospital door bursts open. It's Li Shu. He sprints down the hall as his daughter's heart monitor flatlines. He gets there just in time to see her eyes close, and his whole world falls apart. He screams for a doctor as his daughter is rushed to the emergency room. He then collapses to the floor, holding his crying mother and saying he's sorry for not being there. His cousin, pretending to be innocent, asks why he's suddenly back. Furious, Li Shu slaps her right across the face. When she demands to know why he hit her, he yells that they abused his mother and left his daughter to die. Now that the truth is out, she drops the act and tells him he can't do anything about it. He swears he'll make them pay for what they've done and lunges at his uncle, but his bodyguards jump in, holding them back as they scream threats at him. With his daughter's life hanging by a thread in surgery, he ordered his guards to gag his wife and her accomplice. He furiously warned them they'd better pray his daughter survived, or he'd make them pay with their lives. After the doctor rushed the girl into surgery, he turned on his wife, demanding to know what she had done. Once they took the gag off, she spat back that she had nothing to say, because the girl wasn't even her daughter. Furious, he slapped her hard and grabbed her by the throat, promising her death wouldn't be an easy one. Then he saw his elderly mother, her hands all bruised and bleeding. He asked her what they did, and she broke down, admitting they forced her to kneel and pick up scattered cash just for fun. His wife laughed, saying his mother looked just like a dog crawling on the ground. That's when the man's assistant announced that their boss was so powerful now that even the city's mayor had to treat him with respect. Hearing this, the man ordered his men to force his wife to her knees. He then pulled out a thick stack of cash and threw it in the air, letting the bills rain down on her in a shower of humiliation. He grabbed her by the chin and ordered her to pick up every single bill off the floor. Her accomplice protested, but the man calmly said he was just making her reenact the cruelty she showed his mother. The accomplice suddenly got cocky, sneering that they had a powerful backer, young Master Liu, the heir to the massive Liu group. He threatened that once young Master Liu, who was at a big business conference to meet the richest man in Africa, arrived, they would be done for. The wife mocked him, saying a lowlife like him wouldn't even know who the city's big families were. His assistant explained that at the conference, the Liu family was such small potatoes they didn't even qualify to greet the guest of honor in person. The accomplice scoffed. His furious assistant slapped the accomplice across the face, warning him for being so disrespectful. The accomplice just laughed, swearing they'd all be dead when young Master Liu showed up. His mother begged him to stop, terrified because the Liu family was rich and powerful, and they were people they couldn't afford to cross. Seeing this, the accomplice sneered, pointing out that even his own mother didn't believe in him. The man replied calmly, telling him to go ahead and call young Master Liu right then, and see what he could do. His mother pleaded with him, but he reassured her that all the big families in the city were nothing but ants to him. The accomplice eagerly made the call, telling young Master Liu that the con artist from before was back and had tied them up, begging him to come to the hospital. On the other end, young Master Liu was shocked by his nerve. Just as he was about to say no because of the important business conference, the man's assistant took the phone. The man spoke directly to young Master Liu, saying he could bring his guys over because the business conference was canceled and he didn't need to go anymore. The accomplice was stunned into silence. A moment later, the assistant's phone rang. It was the city mayor confirming that the richest man in Africa had canceled the conference. The mayor then ordered his staff to find out where the guest of honor was, planning to go there himself. Still, the wife and her accomplice couldn't believe it. They insisted it was just a coincidence, a lucky break. They started laughing, making fun of him, and guessing that his bodyguards were actually there to arrest him. Unfazed, the man just said they had very active imaginations before telling his assistant to play a recording for everyone. A voice filled the hall, announcing that the business conference was canceled. The pair were left speechless. The accomplice couldn't understand how a single word from him could make it happen. Young Master Liu then called back, explaining the city mayor himself had canceled the event, but he promised he was on his way to the hospital to help. The wife sneered, telling him he should kneel and beg for forgiveness before young Master Liu got there. But the man just said they'd wait and see. He then ordered his men to slam the accomplice's face into the ground. As his head hit the floor, a new voice echoed through the hospital, asking who would dare to be so arrogant. The woman ran to him, crying that she was his girl and had been bullied. Her accomplice chimed in, blaming the man for the abuse his daughter went through. Young Master Liu comforted her, swearing that anyone who dared to touch his woman in this city was asking to die. He then arrogantly told the man to get on his knees and apologize, offering to leave his body in one piece if he did. But the man just scoffed, declaring that no one in the entire city was worthy of making him kneel. Furious, young Master Liu couldn't believe his nerve, wondering out loud if he really thought he was the richest man in Africa, important enough to cancel a huge business conference. The man just smiled and said that if he didn't believe him, he couldn't be helped. He added that by crossing him today, the Liu family would be targeted by every other big family in the city. Young Master Liu and his buddies burst out laughing, finding his claims hilarious. His mother, though, was terrified, begging him to apologize before it was too late. But he just calmly told her that in this city there was no one he couldn't afford to piss off. Young Master Liu, still laughing, ordered his men to grab him. But as they moved forward, his own bodyguards stepped in their way and told them they were quitting. Confused, he offered them double, then 10 times their pay. That's when the man revealed that his bodyguards each made $100 million a year. Young Master Liu was stunned, realizing that only top-tier S-class bodyguards made that kind of money. Before he could answer, one of the bodyguards punched him square in the jaw, sending him stumbling back as blood streamed from his mouth. He accused the man of being an escaped con, warning him that this wasn't some lawless place. The beaten man Liu Xiao frantically called the cops, reporting that he'd found a dangerous con artist who had not only kidnapped his woman, but also hired thugs to attack him. The man in the suit, Li, stayed perfectly calm. While Liu Xiao was on the phone, Li's mom rushed his side, terrified, asking what he'd been doing overseas. He calmly reassured her that he was a legit businessman, the head of the biggest real estate group in all of Africa. Liu Xiao overheard this and scoffed, making fun of him for lying even to his own mother. Meanwhile, the city lord was panicking. The very same Mr. Li, a key investor, had gone missing, and if he left, the city's economy would collapse. Back at the hospital, Captain Ma listened, as Liu Xiao pointed at Li, accusing him of being the con and, worse, of impersonating the richest man in Africa. Captain Ma immediately bought the story, siding with the son of a powerful local family. Liu Xiao suggested they hand the imposter over to the real tycoon, a move that would definitely earn them some points. Captain Ma agreed, completely blowing Li off, and ordered his men to make the arrest. Li warned him to investigate first, but the captain sneered, saying Liu Xiao's word was all the proof he needed. As Li was dragged away, his mother cried out, begging them not to take her son. He promised her he'd be back soon and told his head bodyguard to stay and protect her. Seeing this, Liu Xiao whispered a threat, saying if the bodyguards weren't there, he'd kill Li's mom. The villains watched with glee as Li was taken away. They talked about his fate, figuring that for his crimes, he'd face the death penalty. Lu Xiao promised Captain Ma a huge reward from his family for this, and the two men laughed, confident they had won. Her grandmother could only cry, praying her son would come back to them.